That's one of the reasons why we abstain from coming together on screen. We keep getting these opportunities day in, day out where they say that, no, we want to cast you and Sargun together. But unless it outdoes what we have already parked with us, we have abstained from. Right. So we want to use that, so to say, for the lack of a better word, novelty. With that script. Right. Unless something much, much better than that comes along. Sriram, 100%. It inspires, I mean, the inspiration that one should take, and I try to take from Sriram, is that you can be Maryada Purushottam, with your limited abilities also, but at least aspire to be that. Not, at least aspire to manifest the element of Rama from within you. Right. Rama literally means the light within. I got a show which was on Colors, which was the only live show in majority. That same format is not attempted live in many other countries. It was 6 seconds deferred. So there was this massive challenge that was thrown. It just made me leap out of the bed and say that I don't care how you're projecting it, how you're mounting it. That's not my concern. I'd much rather do this because this will propel me to go back to the drawing board, become just so fantastic at this craft.
Ravi, welcome to News 18.
Thank you.
I was just watching the trailer of Lakhan Leela Bhargav, and the first thing that came to my mind was you kind of become a master of disguise, correct? Be it Matsyakand, be it this series of Faraday, the first look that has been out. We see a lot of shades of you, like, playing an imposter, playing a lot of disguise. What do you have to say about that? I mean, producers कुछ ज़्यादा काम करा रहे हैं आपसे?
नहीं, वो तो बेचारे बहुत ही. I've been very lucky. I am very lucky to find fantastic producers to have worked with. Throughout my body of work and throughout the people that I have had the great opportunity, whether it's Ashwini Yadi ma'am or Vipul sir, or it is Saurabh ji. So they've all been very, very kind. I think it's my own just manic hunger. I forgot to mention, you mentioned Matsyakand, so Deepak Dhar sir. They've been very, very kind, but I think it's my own hunger to push some envelopes while I'm at something, and that I take it as a fantastic blessing that from where we come and from the resources that we come with, that is the biggest skill we have, and that is the only opportunity that we can seize is to push an envelope. So all these things, whether you spoke about Faraday, you spoke about Matsyakand, and when that opportunity is presented, that can we or can we not push an envelope? How big is that envelope? Let's just seize it and do it. And one such envelope we have pushed in Lakhan Leela Bhargav as well. Right. Disguises is not one of them.
Right. You along with Sargun turned producers a couple of years back. Has that kind of changed your perspective as an actor in terms of the choices that you make?
No. We have been very instinctive with our choices all the while. In fact, if anything, it's only contributed to the scripts we want to do as producers. Okay. Because that instinctive nature or that gut related choice that we would make, that's the it's become even more cemented now as storytellers as well. In fact, as we move forward, the kind of stories we want to back, we are fairly clear in our head with what we want to say, with the kind of stories we want to say, as kind of an autonomous creative space that we want to build.
But this one looks pretty engaging in terms of, when we saw the trailer. Today, in a day and age where, we have so much content coming out, and at the remote control where we can just change it at any point of time if we don't want to watch. How important does it become to, engage the audience with the content that you're coming out with?
That's the most important thing. I think we were just speaking to someone that the pressure of novelty is such in the creative industry that sometimes that really takes away from engagement. Whereas actually your obligation is not to be novel. Your obligation is to be creative. Right. So my apologies. Your obligation is not to be novel. Your obligation is to engage. Right. So, but somehow that takes a back seat and novelty takes the front seat. And in the process of being novel, you're also trying to do something that you don't fully understand right now. And there are many times you fall face down, and that's not a problem. But the problem still is you still want to do something novel. That novelty can be achieved while retaining the core ethic or the core ethos of
engaging the audience.
Of the fact that you also have to engage. Now you can decide that whether you want to engage 2 people, that's also fine, or you want to engage 2,000. That's entirely up to you. but at least that should supersede any other intent.
Right.
Right.
But when it comes to Lakhan Leela Bhargav, what was it that engaged you as an actor? Because I'm assuming you would also think from an audience perspective that this is what my audience is going to watch me.
Sure.
What engaged you to say a yes to this?
Okay. So the only thing that I have so far looked at in my career, and I think this is the one thing that has served me really, really well. And I hope that these decisions begin to bear much more fruit in the forthcoming future. Is that my attempt is only to synergize with the character. Okay, that's it. Everything. If the beats of the character are something that I can find in my personality, even in a lesser magnitude or a lower magnitude, but I have the opportunity of amplifying it and projecting it, and therefore seem organic as that character. I think there is a better chance of me saying yes to it versus something which is a massively mounted project, but I just can't find my synergy with the character. That I would humbly find my way out of. Right. So therefore, for a very long time, I think those perception-driven decisions I have never been able to take. Okay. Those projects that have a great perception and a fantastic mounting. Fortunately, unfortunately, I've never been able to go down that route because the moment that if I don't see that marriage between the actor and the character happening, I feel that neither will be able to contribute to the other. The actor won't be able to contribute much to the character, and the character would in turn not be able to contribute to the actor. So right. It's a loveless marriage. Yeah. So I have more often than not humbly found my way out of it, and at least if you ask me honestly, at this point of time, my intent is that I continue doing it like that, right. And that's it.
But have you lost out in this process?
Many. Just a couple of days back, in fact. But and over the past many years also, I mean, I'll give you one example that I would always choose pushing an envelope to being mounted well. And I'm certain that in due course of time that will bear great fruit because that's kind of become my core ethos and my core way of approach to a project. Is that there was a time that I was offered a non-fiction show. Okay. One was a very big non-fiction show with some of the biggest names in the industry. The biggest, of course, the one that I eventually did had also very, very big names, but it had a much bigger mounting and a much bigger arc and etc. and all of that. Versus I got a show which was on Colors, which was the only live show in majority. That same format is not attempted live in many other countries. It was 6 seconds deferred. Okay. So there was this massive challenge that was thrown. It just made me leap out of the bed and say that I don't care how you're projecting it, how you're mounting it. That's not my concern. I'd much rather do this because this will propel me to go back to the drawing board, become just so fantastic at this craft, and come right back at the set and, and have maybe just enjoy myself and have a grateful sleep that night. Right. But there it's like any other post-produced show. No. You have those skills and challenges. वो तो हर जगह होते हैं. मगर ये, so it was on the same network. It was on Colors, and I'll tell you what it was. It was a show called Rising Star, and I think that we proved that this was possible collectively as a team. Right. And therefore we synergize so beautifully with each other. We still talk about it like a boot camp that we went through. Right. I'd anyway choose this. And because of it being a courtroom drama here as well, there was an opportunity to push an envelope that we did. So we have collectively delivered a monologue that I can safely say is among the longest in the world. Sure. It's a 28-minute single shot. 28 minutes plus. Right. And I also felt that only a show like this can give me that opportunity. Right. A courtroom setup in a very real space may not. Correct. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But something which has a little bit of for the lack of a better word, a little bit of a cinema pulp attached to it. Right. It's not just fiction, it's pulp fiction. But here that you can suspend that reality and maybe just do it. Yeah. So it lends you the opportunity to create that disruptor, that differentiator. Right. So I hope that that also serves as a good asset to the show, and that. So
right. You mentioned the word disruptor and the differentiator.
Yeah.
You've had almost like 18 years of your, like it's been what, 18 years?
Exactly.
But you turned producer like a couple of years back. Was being a differentiator or a disruptor being one of the reasons that you wanted to come out with content that you wanted to make, irrespective of whether you are a part of it or not?
Yeah, absolutely. And it still is. It still is. Me and Sargun are very clear that even though many times that it's the nature of the job to sometimes stick to a formula, but that's actually not what we intend to do. We want to say stories and tell stories that we have always believed in and synergized with. We want to show cinema the way we have loved it, and we are already on that path, and we were taking baby steps. Now we are taking slightly bigger steps, and I'm 100% certain that in due course of time we'll be taking quantum leaps in that direction. Only a matter of time. So that is actually the only intent. To have an autonomous environment where we can tell stories without necessarily reporting it and taking approvals from everywhere is what we eventually want to do.
And does the job then become a little difficult?
No, it becomes lovely.
Okay.
It just becomes fantastic. There is no difficulty in the job. There are difficulties are logistical in nature, but I think synergy is creative. So that's just a state of flow. It's beautiful.
Right. 18 years in the industry. You have completed your engineering. You did your mass comm also.
Sure.
And then you decided to become an actor. If you had to go back 18 years, what would you tell that Ravi Dubey who was just starting off as an actor, and what you achieved?
It's all going to work out. It's all going to be for your greatest glory is what I would tell him. And what I would tell myself right now as well. So not everything is as per your taste. There'll be moments that you might lose your temper. There'll be moments that you can lose your temper but never lose your grace, because you must know at all times that it's all contributing to our greatest glory. That's it. That's what I want to repeat to myself. The next moment has not yet happened. I want to nourish it with as much optimism and positivity as I have in myself, and that's infinite.
Right. We've taken some Twitter questions from your fans.
Please.
There's one called Sarvi, Empowered Couple.
Sure.
And they said that you were now producing and writing content as well. Then why he doesn't write a script for himself and Sargun, like they can write a script what they want and can come together on the screen for their fans?
We have one.
Okay.
We have one. It's safely parked with us. It's only a matter of time when we come out with it. In fact, that's one of the reasons why we abstain from coming together on screen. We keep getting these opportunities day in, day out where they say that, no, we want to cast you and Sargun together. But unless it outdoes what we have already parked with us, we have abstained from.
Right.
So we want to use that, so to say, for the lack of a better word, novelty.
Okay.
With that script.
Right.
Unless something much better than that comes along.
Yeah. There's Kena Chaudhary. Ravi has done it all, sub genre kar liya hai, but mythology kabhi nahi ki hai. Though he reads a lot of mythology books and watches a mythology shows. Which character inspires, and if given a chance, which mythological character would you want to play on screen?
The one character that has always inspired me beyond limit is, each character has a beat that inspires you, but Sri Ram, 100%. It inspires, the inspiration that one should take, and I try to take from Sri Ram, is that you can be Maryada Purushottam, with your limited abilities also, but at least aspire to be that. Not, at least aspire to manifest the element of Rama from within you. Right. Rama literally means the light within. So you at least aspire to bring that forth. So that's been a very motivating factor for me. Krishna inspires you to deal with the biggest of the crises that you can possibly have with a smile. I played the character called Matsya, and it's just yesterday that I was thinking that it was the first avatar of Vishnu.
Yeah.
And it had a tendency of आप उसको जिस भी कंटेनर में डाल दो वो उस कंटेनर से बड़ा हो जाता है. So I found that to be such a motivating factor. You don't have to be a small fish in the ocean. आप एक कमंडल के अंदर भी हो तो आप उसके लिहाज से आप then jump from, but be, make a statement where you are. I think that there are a lot of daily life implications in these stories, and if you look at it like that, you can take a lot and you can become so much better than who you are. So that.
Right. Is Ravi the superstar? Please give us some update about Faraday. What's happening with it.
Okay, so it's shaped up beautifully. There is an announcement teaser that might take some time, but we'll be putting it out there for everybody to see soon. I don't want to commit to a timeline, but we are going to try to do it, within this year, and hopefully in the sooner part of this remaining year. So that.
Right. Lastly, there's Ravi fans. That's the Twitter handle. Can we see a new season of Jamai?
I doubt it. 2.0? No, I seriously doubt it.
Anything new?
Anything new, definitely. There are a few things that I'm excited to talk about, but right now may not be the right time. But Jamai 2.0, I think we've told the story the way we wanted to. I don't see it going. I personally don't see it coming with another season. And if you ask me very honestly, I think with my deepest gratitude and humility and everything, I'd like to thank the journey that has happened. I think it's done it's been a full rounded journey and it's done its course.
Right.
So I'm excited to look at it the way it is.
Right. Great. Thank you so much, Ravi, for taking your time, and pleasure talking to you.
My pleasure. Thank you. Hi, this is Ravi Dubey and you're watching me on News 18 Showsha.